Intelligence is about sounding smart. Fast talk, big words, loud opinions, endless arguments. But that's not intelligence. That's noise. Real intelligence is quiet. And when you have it, people feel it before they understand it. If you've ever been underestimated, if you've ever been the calm one while others lost control, if you've ever noticed patterns nobody else saw until it was too late, this video isn't entertainment. It's recognition. Because the most dangerous minds don't announce themselves. They position themselves. And today, you're going to see 7 traits that separate strategic thinkers from emotional reactors. Keep track, because if you recognize yourself, you weren't built for average rules. You were built for strategy. Drop this in the comments before we begin. I move with control. The loudest person in the room is rarely the strongest. Most people talk because silence makes them uncomfortable. They fill space to feel relevant. They explain to feel safe. They argue to feel powerful. But strategic minds don't fear silence. They understand something simple. Every word gives away information. So they wait. And while they wait, something interesting happens. Other people talk themselves into mistakes. They overshare. They justify. They reveal what they want, what they fear, and what they're planning. Silence doesn't mean weakness. Silence means you're collecting data. When you finally speak, you don't ramble. You don't defend. You don't explain. You decide. That's why your words land heavier. Because you don't speak to be heard. You speak to move the room. If you've ever noticed people start explaining themselves just because you stayed quiet, keep watching. I speak with purpose. Some people are curious for entertainment. You're curious for leverage. You don't ask questions to sound smart. You ask questions to expose structure. You want to know who benefits, who loses, who controls the rules, why things stay the way they are. You don't accept that's just how it is. You know most systems aren't random. They're designed. And once you understand the design, you stop being easy to manage. Your questions make people pause, not because you're aggressive, but because you're precise. The right question can collapse an illusion faster than 100 arguments. If you've ever noticed people getting uncomfortable when you ask simple questions, you're doing it right. This is influence without friction. You don't push, you guide. You don't argue, you frame. You ask questions that lead without forcing. You let people arrive at conclusions themselves. Because once someone believes it was their idea, they protect it. You understand, people resist commands. People embrace ownership. You don't humiliate. You don't corner. You let others save face, and saving face is leverage. If people often agree with you without realizing how they got there, this is why. Your intelligence isn't loud. It's surgical. You don't chase attention. You don't rush decisions. You don't trade long-term power for short-term emotion. In a world full of reactors, calculators always win. If this video described you, don't just watch it. Use it. Subscribe for more strategy, psychology, and quiet power. And share this with the one person who never speaks much, but always moves first. Drop it if you mean it. I move with precision.